By way of another very relevant example, I treasure time with my son. But instead of spending time with him right now, I am standing here in this recording studio recording this book for you. I often knowingly, intentionally, and voluntarily sacrifice time with my son in this way, writing books, attending courses, providing a service, or attending to the management of my business so that I can give him a long-term better life. In this way, I make a profit.
While RJon was away, Team RJon came to play. Well, the cat's out of the bag now, folks, but we're still here bringing you our favorite and most importantly, actionable insights to RJon's newest book, Profit First for Lawyers. We're going to help you accelerate your law firm's growth so that you can experience more profit in every aspect of your life. We're also going to be providing some behind-the-scenes footage at what it's really like to work with RJon Robbins. So, put your BS aside for the next few minutes and put yourself, your family, your firm, and your profit first. Welcome back to another episode of the Profit First for Lawyers podcast. I'm your host, Karli, and today we are all celebrating because Profit First for Lawyers, the book, is officially out. It's officially available. If you pre-ordered your copy, and I hope you pre-ordered your copy, you should be getting it probably today or tomorrow. So make sure that you send any of your reviews, your feedback, what do you think about it, to podcast@profitfirstforlawyers.com. I want to know. I personally really love this book, so I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it too. I want to play a clip that I've been waiting to play basically since day one. And this clip is going to be RJon himself explaining what is profit. There's so many different definitions, and I think we should all get an alignment on that. Not only because it's a really good definition to get an alignment on, but number two, because I think RJon's explanation is so good and so powerful, and it has added so much value to my life, and I'm not even a lawyer. I don't think you have to be a lawyer in order to get a lot of value out of this explanation. And then I'm going to give you some sneak peeks at some footage that we got at our soft launch at the July LQM that has never been seen before, that I wasn't planning on releasing quite this early, but you guys are in luck because we're going to do it here. The LQM, just in case you guys haven't been here for that earlier explanation, right? That stands for our live quarterly meeting. And it's when all of the members of How to Manage come together on this big, it's almost like a rock star event for law firm owners and entrepreneurs, where we get up on stage, there's like 700 people, and RJon gives a big lesson on going an inch wide and a mile deep into a specific topic that helps all of our members to really get an alignment and get more profit, more success out of their business, which is pretty darn cool. I personally think that everybody should experience an LQM at least once in their lives, because that energy, you really can't explain it anywhere else. All right, folks, so let's get into it. First, we're going to roll this clip on RJon's official definition of the word profit. And I think that you'll see exactly why I found this so impactful. Let's roll the clip.
Profit is the benefit derived from exchanging anything that a person values less for something that person values more. So when I exchange a red marble for a green marble, for example, assuming the exchange was made voluntarily by both parties, then both parties to the transaction must have made a profit, or else they would not have entered into and completed that transaction voluntarily. They each must have preferred to have had the other marble, otherwise they wouldn't have entered into the exchange voluntarily. Keep in mind, if fraud, force, or trickery was involved, then the transaction was inherently involuntary for at least one of the parties to it, and mutual profit is not assured. How to manage a small law firm is for profit. In other words, we are in favor of people knowingly, intentionally, and voluntarily exchanging things like their time, their money, opportunities, and sometimes, yes, even relationships that they value less in order to gain time, opportunities, and relationships that they value more, even if the thing being sacrificed for that which is being obtained is highly valued. In other words, just because I give it up to get something I value more does not mean the thing I'm willing to give up has no value to me, only that the thing I'm getting is calculated to have even more value to me, either in the short term or in the long term. For example, if I have $1 and I also have a problem, and you have a need for my dollar, and you have a possible solution or a practiced system or an approach or a methodology that is reasonably calculated to help me solve my problem, and you value the delivery of that solution or service less than you value the dollar, or you value the dollar more than you value the effort required to deliver the solution, then we can each make a profit by exchanging my dollar for the service that you have to offer. Because even though I value my dollar, I value the opportunity to solve my problem even more. And even though you value the solution or the effort required to produce the solution, you value the dollar I have more than you value that effort. By way of another very relevant example, I treasure time with my son. But instead of spending time with him right now, I am standing here in this recording studio recording this book for you. I often knowingly, intentionally, and voluntarily sacrifice time with my son in this way, writing books, attending courses, providing a service, or attending to the management of my business so that I can give him a long-term better life. In this way, I make a profit because as much as I value and enjoy my time with my son today, I value his future well-being and the feelings that I expect to have when I'm able to give him that better future and avoiding the feelings of regret if I can't, even more than the time that I'm giving up right now being with him today. Of course, only your law firm's financials are as black and white as this. Everything else is a balancing act.
I love this definition of the word profit. It really blew my mind when RJon first defined it for me. And he's given that talk a lot of times, and I think it's because most people need to hear it, right? Profit is not just based in financials, it is in my increase. Am I making a profit in this transaction? I think that's beautiful. All right, folks, so let's move on to the last little bit of today. So we are introducing some brand new clips from where I ambushed some members during our LQM. You're going to hear a lot of background noise here, right? This is right in the middle of the conference. We've got almost 700 people over here, right? There's background noise, there's talking, so don't get too distracted by that. Here we are talking to some members about what profit-first accounting principles have done in their lives and in their business and the impact that it's made. Let's roll those clips. So what is your name and practice area?
Sam Brotman Law, and I'm a tax attorney.
Yes, Helen Bukumas, Immigration and Injury.
Hi, I'm Ron Pollock, and this is my wife, Julie Pollock, and we practice personal injury in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, throughout the whole state, as well as New Jersey.
And how has your life changed since implementing profit-first accounting principles?
Profit First has changed our life. It gives me so much sanity in being able to know that I'm consistently putting a certain amount of money away every single month. It takes the stress out of my finances. It's super simple.
Well, I think it's changed completely. I think paying yourself first means so many things, both financial, professional, and personal. And it's interesting that this LQM fit my life story so far. I basically started paying myself first and looking at all the decisions and asking, is this going to pay me first?
Well, in terms of Profit First, it's actually been transformative because I never did that and often didn't think about paying ourselves first. And we always were kind of on the bottom of the totem pole. Everybody else did it, so it was my business, but everybody else was profiting but me. So since implementing Profit First, it now puts us at the top of the totem pole so that we make sure that we get paid, that we make sure that we are saving, and we come first because our business is always supposed to work for us, not the other way around.
Ron has seen the light, and it's a wonderful thing. We fight less. We fight less.
We do fight less.
We're on the same page.
Probably one of the, at least for us, one of the only things we ever fought about
fought.
was money, and definitely that's taken a lot of that pressure and that underlying stressful area and that underlying tone away.
Did you have any fears or hesitations when you first decided to implement it?
Well, like the concept of having 5 separate bank accounts seems counterintuitive, but once you kind of get the mechanics down, it's really, really stupidly easy. I don't know why we didn't do it sooner.
Absolutely. I think fear is part of life. And I think what all the resources and HTM is teaching me is that fear is just natural part of life. You just need to learn how to react and respond to it.
No, not at all. It made so much sense. You don't know what you don't know, and then it was literally turning on a light. It just, when I looked at how we were doing things and how Profit First asked you to do things, it made so much sense that I don't even think I finished driving the route that I was doing at the time that I was, because I both listened to it as well as read it. I actually pulled off on the side of the road to open all the extra accounts. I called my bank literally from the car. You need to get this started, all these extra accounts, and then I'll come in and we'll finish the job, but get it started. So it made so much sense. It was instantaneous action.
Yes.
What advice would you give to law firm owners who are looking into Profit First for the first time?
You have to do it. You just implement the system and hire somebody to take the stress out of it for you so that you don't even have to think about it. Like, don't be your own Profit First accountant or your own Profit First bookkeeper. Just set it and forget it. It's that easy.
At first, it sounds greedy. It sounds like it lacks compassion. And I do think that it needs to be renamed to reflect the truth in it. But I would definitely recommend looking into it. Don't be discouraged by the way it sounds.
If you're not doing it, you
Take the step now.
Take the step now. And honestly, again, you don't know what you don't know. Read the book or listen to the book, because it does make so much sense, and you're just going to make so much more money as a result.
And that's what we have for you today, folks. Make sure that you stay tuned next time as we continue on in our 7-part series on the 7 main parts of every successful law firm. We're going to be talking about Part 5, Physical Plant. I really hope that you've enjoyed this episode today. And thanks again for everybody who helped us meet and exceed our BHAG, our big, hairy, audacious goal. I cannot believe the success that this book has had. But I'm also not surprised, because honestly, it's a really good book. Please make sure that you let me know how you're enjoying it by sending me an email at podcast@profitfirstforlawyers.com. And if you haven't yet grabbed your copy of the book, head to your nearest bookstore or Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, wherever you get your books, and make sure that you pick up your copy today. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Profit First for Lawyers. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, tell a friend. And buy your copy of the book at profitfirstforlawyers.com. Your future self will thank you for it. And we will see you next time.